Tonight's campfire conversation begins in the golden age of piracy. When most people imagine pirate ships in the early 1700s, they picture rough crews of hardened men sailing the Caribbean in search of treasure. But hidden within that violent and chaotic world were two figures who have fascinated historians for centuries. Their names were Anne Bonny and Mary Read. Both sailed with the pirate captain Calico Jack Rackham, and one had a secret. She was a woman disguised as a man. According to historical accounts, Mary Read had lived much of her early life disguised as a boy. Her mother dressed her that way to claim financial support that was only available for a male heir. As Mary grew older, the disguise continued. She worked as a soldier and even fought in military campaigns before eventually ending up in the Caribbean. Anne Bonny's path was different, but just as remarkable. Born in Ireland, she later moved to the American colonies and eventually found her way into the pirate world alongside Calico Jack. Historical reports suggest that although Bonny did not disguise herself as a man while aboard the pirate ship, Mary Read did. And for a very simple reason, women were not allowed on most ships. Naval vessels and merchant ships often had strict rules forbidding women aboard. Superstition, discipline, and social customs all played a role. So for women who wanted freedom, adventure, or simply survival, disguising themselves as men could be the only way to sail. When Anne Bonny and Mary Read were eventually captured in 1720, witnesses at their trial described how fiercely they fought during battles. According to one account, while much of the pirate crew hid below deck during an attack, Anne Bonny and Mary Read continued fighting on the deck of the ship. Their courage during the fight became legendary. But here's where the story becomes even more interesting. Anne Bonny and Mary Read were not alone. Throughout history, many women disguised themselves as men in order to serve in armies, sail on ships, or gain opportunities that society denied them. One example was Deborah Sampson, who enlisted in the Continental Army during the American Revolution. Another was Hannah Snell, who reportedly fought in military campaigns in the 1700s. And historians believe there were many more whose stories were never recorded. In the harsh world of the 18th century, survival sometimes required extraordinary choices. For some women, disguising themselves as men opened doors that would otherwise remain closed. It allowed them to travel, to work, to fight, and sometimes to seek the same freedom that men took for granted. Today, when we look back at the lives of Anne Bonny and Mary Read, their story reminds us that history is often more complicated than the simple legends we learn. Behind the pirate flags and the tales of buried treasure were real people navigating a difficult world in whatever way they could. And sometimes, the most remarkable stories are the ones hidden just beneath the surface of history. If you enjoyed tonight's campfire conversation, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And turn on the notification bell to help the community grow. And if you have a story idea you'd like us to explore around the fire, leave it in the comments. Your ideas help keep the stories coming. I'm Christy, and I'll see you next time. Pull up a chair, warm your hands by the fire, and remember, the fire never dies as long as people keep showing up.